Lieutenant Ji-Soo Kim moved silently through the thick jungle of Nexus 7. The air was hot and sticky. Strange birds with 6 wings called in the distance. Ji-Soo wiped sweat from her forehead and checked her scanner again. "All clear, team. Move up," she whispered into her comm unit. 4 soldiers in dark green armor followed her lead. They were the best of Earth's defense corps: Han, Duri, Jun, and Minho. Each one had fought in at least 3 battles against the Taurians. Each one trusted Ji-Soo with their life. "I don't like this place, Lieutenant," said Han, the oldest of the group. "Too quiet." Ji-Soo nodded. "Stay sharp. We're just here to look. No fighting unless we have to." Their mission was simple: check the old mining station for Taurian activity and report back. Earth Command needed to know if the aliens were building a new base in this sector. The team moved deeper into the jungle. The trees grew taller here, blocking the light from the 3 suns. Strange plants glowed blue and green in the shadows. The heat was worse under the trees. Ji-Soo's scanner beeped softly. She raised her hand, and the team stopped at once. "Movement ahead. 50 meters," she said. Jun, the team's scout, climbed up a nearby tree to look. He was halfway up when a bright red beam cut through the trunk. "Ambush," Ji-Soo shouted as Jun fell with the tree. The air filled with red beams. The sound of Taurian plasma rifles echoed through the jungle. Trees exploded into flames around them. "Defensive formation," Ji-Soo ordered as she fired back. Her team reacted fast, finding cover behind fallen trees and rocks. But the Taurians had planned well. Red beams came from all sides. Ji-Soo saw Minho fall first, a plasma beam burning through his chest armor. Then Duri screamed as 3 beams hit him at once. "Han, we need to move. We can't stay here," Ji-Soo shouted over the noise. Han nodded and threw a smoke grenade. As white smoke filled the air, Ji-Soo saw a massive shape moving through the trees. A Taurian soldier, nearly 8 feet tall with thick gray skin like armor, charged toward Han. "Behind you," she yelled, but it was too late. The Taurian grabbed Han with 4 powerful arms and snapped his neck in one quick move. Ji-Soo fired her rifle, hitting the Taurian in the shoulder. It roared in pain but didn't fall. More shapes moved in the smoke. There were too many of them. "Fall back to Point Beta," she ordered into her comm, hoping Jun was still alive somewhere in the chaos. No answer came. A plasma beam hit Ji-Soo's leg as she turned to run. The pain was instant and terrible. She fell but forced herself up again. She couldn't die here. Not like this. Limping badly, she pushed deeper into the jungle, away from the fighting. Blood soaked her pants. Each step was agony. Behind her, she heard the Taurians' deep voices calling to each other. They were following her. Ji-Soo found a small stream and walked in the water to hide her tracks. The cool water eased the burning pain in her leg for a moment. She checked her weapon. Only half a charge left. Not enough to fight off a Taurian patrol. When she couldn't walk in the stream anymore, Ji-Soo climbed out and found a hollow log covered in glowing moss. She crawled inside, fighting against the pain that threatened to make her pass out. As darkness fell on Nexus 7, Lieutenant Ji-Soo Kim, the only survivor of her team, pressed a cloth against her wounded leg and listened to the sounds of Taurian soldiers searching for her. Her breaths came in short gasps. Sweat covered her body, but her eyes remained clear and focused. They had killed her team, her friends. Now they were hunting her. But Ji-Soo was not easy prey, not even wounded. She checked her emergency beacon. No signal. She was alone, deep in enemy territory, with a serious injury. Ji-Soo tightened the bandage on her leg and gripped her rifle. "I'm still alive," she whispered to herself in the darkness. And that's their first mistake. Ji-Soo woke with a start. Morning light filtered through cracks in the hollow log. Her leg throbbed with pain. The wound had stopped bleeding, but the skin around it was hot and red. She listened carefully. The jungle was alive with sounds again. No heavy footsteps. No deep Taurian voices. Maybe they had given up the search. Jisoo checked her water bottle. Only a few sips left. She had to find more water and a safer place to hide. With great effort, she crawled out of the log. Every movement sent waves of pain through her leg. Standing was even worse. Jisoo bit her lip to keep from crying out. One step at a time, she told herself. She used a branch as a walking stick and moved slowly through the jungle. The heat was already building. Sweat ran down her face. Twice she had to stop and rest. Near a small clearing, Jisoo found a pool of clean water. She dropped to her knees and drank deeply. Then she cleaned her wound as best she could. It looked bad. Without proper medicine, it would get infected. As she was refilling her water bottle, Jisoo heard a twig snap. She reached for her rifle, but she was too slow. A net dropped over her from above. Jisoo struggled, but the net tightened around her. Then a dart hit her neck. Her body went numb. The world started to spin. The last thing she saw was 4 huge Taurians stepping into the clearing. Jisoo woke up in a moving vehicle. Her hands were tied behind her back. Her weapons were gone. Her leg had been wrapped in a rough bandage, but it still hurt badly. Through a small window, she saw the jungle passing by. They were in a Taurian transport, heading somewhere fast. "The human is awake," a deep voice said. A Taurian soldier moved to stand over her. He was nearly 8 feet tall with thick gray skin and 4 muscular arms. 2 eyes on each side of his wide head looked down at her. "Can you understand me, human?" he asked in rough English. Jisoo said nothing. She stared back at him. The Taurian laughed, a rumbling sound like rocks falling. "Not very talkative. Maybe you are smart for a human." Another Taurian joined him. This one wore armor with more markings. A leader. "Is this really an Earth soldier?" the leader asked. "She is so small." "Yes, Commander Krell. We found Earth military ID. She is a lieutenant." Krell leaned down to look at Jisoo more closely. "Humans send females to fight. No wonder we are winning this war." Both Taurians laughed loudly. Jisoo kept her face blank, but inside she was burning with anger. "What should we do with her, Commander?" the first Taurian asked. "Take her to the base. Maybe she knows something useful. If not, we can always use her for target practice." More laughter filled the transport. Jisoo memorized their faces. Someday, she promised herself, they would regret those laughs. The transport stopped at a large metal gate built into a mountainside. Taurian guards checked the vehicle, then let it pass. Inside was a huge base, much bigger than Jisoo expected. Dozens of buildings, hundreds of Taurians, ships landing and taking off. This was no small outpost. This was a major Taurian operation. 2 guards pulled Jisoo from the transport. The sudden movement made her legs scream with pain. She stumbled and fell to the ground. The Taurians around her burst into laughter. "Look at the weak human," one called out. "Can't even stand up," another said. Commander Krell watched with amusement. Is this really what Earth sends to fight us? A tiny female who falls down. Jisoo forced herself to her feet. She stood as straight as she could despite the pain. Her eyes locked with Krell's. "Take her to the cells," Krell ordered. "Tomorrow we will see if she can be useful." The guards dragged Jisoo across the base. Other Taurians stopped to stare at her. Some laughed. Some made threatening gestures. They threw her into a small cell with metal walls. The door slammed shut with a heavy clang. Jisoo sat in the corner of the cell. Her situation was bad. Very bad. But she was still alive. And now she was inside a major Taurian base. If she could escape and report this location to Earth Command, it would be worth more than any recon mission. From the next cell, she heard a soft tapping sound. Someone was trying to communicate. Jisoo tapped back, using the old Earth military code. The message came clear: human. Jisoo replied, Yes, Lieutenant Kim. The answer made her heart jump with hope. Captain Park. Been here 3 weeks. Stay alive. There is a way out. 3 days passed in the Torian base. Jisoo's leg was healing slowly. The pain was still there, but she could put weight on it now. Every night, she did small exercises in her cell to keep her strength. The Torians had no idea that Jisoo and Taiwan were talking. They tapped messages through the wall between their cells when the guards were not around. Tap, 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 tap. Guards change at midnight. Taiwan tapped. Main door has 6 guards. Second exit has 2. Tap, 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 tap. How many in command center? Jisoo asked with her taps. 4, sometimes 5. They have the best weapons. Jisoo closed her eyes and thought about everything she had learned. The Torians kept talking freely around her. They thought she was weak and scared. They didn't think a human female could be a threat. That was their biggest mistake. In the morning, Commander Krell came to her cell with 2 guards. He looked down at Jisoo with his 4 eyes. Human female, today you will tell us about Earth's defense plans, he said. Jisoo looked up at him. She had been planning for this moment. I need medicine for my leg, she said in a weak voice. It hurts too much to think. Krell laughed. Humans are so soft. Fine. Tell us what we want to know, and we will give you medicine. Jisoo pretended to be afraid. She looked at the floor and spoke softly. Earth has 3 main bases in this sector. I can show you on a map. Krell seemed pleased. He thought she was breaking easily. Bring her to the questioning room, he ordered his guards. The guards pulled Jisoo to her feet. She made sure to limp more than she needed to. She wanted them to think she was weaker than she really was. The questioning room had a large table with maps on it. Jisoo memorized everything she saw as they walked through the base. She counted steps, noted guard positions, and looked for cameras. For 1 hour, Jisoo told Krell about fake Earth bases. She mixed lies with small truths to make her story believable. The whole time, she was studying the Torian base layout. You have been helpful, human, Krell said when they were done. Here is medicine for your leg. Jisoo took the medicine packet. It was strong Torian pain medicine. She knew it would help her leg heal faster, but she needed to be careful. If she appeared too healthy, the Torians might get suspicious. Back in her cell, Jisoo tapped a message to Taiwan. I have a plan now. We need 3 more days. Taiwan's reply came quickly. What did you learn? They are planning to attack Earth colony on Proxima 3. Big fleet leaving in 5 days. We must warn Earth. Taiwan tapped back. Yes, and I know how. That night, Jisoo used half of the pain medicine. She needed her leg to be stronger, but not completely healed. She had to keep pretending to be weak until the right moment. In the darkness of her cell, she practiced moves from her martial arts training. Slow, careful movements that wouldn't make noise. She focused on strikes that could take down much larger opponents. Hits to the joints, pressure points, weak spots in Torian anatomy that she had observed. On the 3rd day, a guard brought food to her cell. He watched her eat with 2 of his eyes, while the other 2 looked at a data pad. Commander says you've been good. Maybe we keep you alive longer, he said. Jisoo lowered her head. Thank you. I just want to survive. The guard laughed. Humans. No pride. No strength. Just survival. When he left, Jisoo smiled for the first time in days. The Torians thought her greatest weakness was being human, but that was actually her greatest strength. That night, she tapped her final message to Taiwan. Tomorrow night, during the Feast of Ancestors, most guards will be at ceremony. Be ready. Taiwan's reply was simple. Ready. Jisoo lay back on her hard bed. Tomorrow would decide everything. If her plan worked, she and Taiwan might escape and save countless human lives. If it failed, they would die. She touched the small lockpick she had made from her food tray. It wasn't much, but in her hands, it would be enough. The Taurians had laughed at her. Soon, they would learn how dangerous a mistake that was. The day of the escape came. Jisoo woke early and listened to the sounds of the base. Today was the Feast of Ancestors, an important Taurian holiday. Most guards would attend the ceremony in the main hall. Perfect timing. A guard brought her breakfast. Jisoo ate slowly, keeping her head down. "You look sick, human," the guard said. Jisoo coughed weakly. "My leg. The wound is worse. I think it's infected." The guard stepped back quickly. Taurians feared human diseases. "I will tell the doctor," he said, and hurried away. Jisoo smiled. Another part of her plan was working. She had used the pain medicine to reduce swelling but had made the skin around her wound look red and angry with bits of food from her meals. It wasn't really infected, but it looked bad. An hour later, the Taurian doctor came to her cell. He wore a breathing mask and kept his distance. "Let me see the wound," he ordered. Jisoo showed him her leg. The doctor scanned it with a medical device. "Strange," he said. "The scanner shows no infection, but it looks infected." Jisoo put on her best scared face. "Please help me. I don't want to die here." The doctor seemed unsure. He looked at his scanner again, then at her leg. "I will give you medicine," he finally said. "Put this cream on the wound. Take these pills." Jisoo took the medicine with shaking hands. "Thank you. Thank you so much." When the doctor left, Jisoo hid the pills under her bed. The cream she kept. It would help her move better tonight. At midday, Commander Krell visited her cell. He looked annoyed. "The doctor says you are sick," he said. Jisoo nodded weakly. "Yes, Commander, but the medicine is helping. I can still talk to you about Earth's defenses." Krell seemed pleased by this. "Good. The War Council wants more information. You will come to the command center tomorrow. I will tell you everything I know," Jisoo promised, looking at the floor. "You are smarter than most humans," Krell said. "You understand that cooperation keeps you alive." After Krell left, Jisoo applied the cream to her leg. The pain faded almost at once. She tested her leg by putting weight on it. Much better. She could run if needed now. In the afternoon, the base got quieter. Taurians were preparing for the feast. Jisoo heard guards talking outside her cell. "Most units are excused for the ceremony," one said. "Only skeleton crew tonight," another replied. "I wish I could go too." "Your turn next year," said the first guard. "Now check the humans, and let's go eat before duty." The guard looked into Jisoo's cell. She was lying on her bed, looking sick and weak. "This one isn't going anywhere," the guard laughed. "Can barely stand up." When the guards left, Jisoo tapped a message to Tawan. "Guard check complete. Next check in 4 hours. Ceremony starts in 1 hour." "Ready," came the reply. "Made weapon from bed spring." Jisoo took out her lockpick. She had made it from a metal strip from her food tray. It wasn't perfect, but it would work on the simple cell locks. As the sun set, sounds of music and drums came from the main hall. The ceremony had begun. Most Taurians were there now. Only a few guards remained on duty. Jisoo put the healing cream on her leg one more time. She stretched her muscles and practiced a few quick martial arts moves. Her body was ready. She tied her hair back tightly and tore strips from her blanket to wrap around her hands for protection. Then she sat by the door and waited. 1 hour passed. The base was very quiet now. Only a few guards walked the hallways. Jisoo took a deep breath. It was time. She slid the lockpick into the cell door lock. This was the moment of truth. If the lock was too complex, the plan would fail before it even started. The lock clicked open. Jisoo smiled in the darkness. The Taurians had been so sure of their superiority that they didn't even use good locks on the cells. They never expected a small wounded human woman to be a threat. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Jisoo slipped out of her cell and moved quietly to Taewon's door. Freedom was just the beginning of her plan. Before the night was over, the Taurians would regret every laugh, every insult, and every moment they underestimated her. Taewon's cell door opened with a soft click. He stepped out quietly, a tall man with short black hair and determined eyes. In his hand was a sharp metal piece from his bed frame. "Lieutenant Kim," he whispered, giving her a quick bow. "Good to finally see you." "Captain Park," Jisoo nodded. "We have about 3 hours before the next guard check." They moved silently down the dark hallway. Jisoo's leg felt much better with the Taurian medicine. She still had a slight limp, but she could move quickly now. At the end of the hallway, they stopped at a corner. Jisoo peeked around it. One Taurian guard stood by the exit door, looking bored. "One guard," she whispered to Taewon. "I'll handle him." Taewon looked concerned. "He's 3 times your size." She picked up a small metal cup from a nearby table and threw it down the opposite hallway. It made a loud clanging sound. The guard turned toward the noise. "Who's there?" he called out, moving away from his post to check. As he passed their hiding spot, Jisoo stepped out behind him. The guard never saw her coming. She struck fast and hard at the back of his knee joint. The Taurian grunted in pain and started to turn. Jisoo was already moving to her next target, a pressure point under his lower left arm that she had noticed when watching the guards. Her fingers jabbed deep into the spot. The Taurian's arm went limp. Off balance now, he began to fall. Jisoo used his momentum against him, pulling him down harder. As he hit the floor, she struck the side of his head with the edge of her hand. The guard lay still, knocked out cold. Taewon stared at her with wide eyes. "How did you do that?" "He must weigh 600 pounds. Jisoo dragged the guard's body into a storage room. Before I joined the military, I was a master of Hapkido. It's a Korean martial art that uses an opponent's size and strength against them. I've never seen anyone take down a Taurian so easily," Taewon said as he helped her hide the guard. "The bigger they are, the harder they fall," Jisoo replied. "Now tell me about your skills. You said you were a communications specialist." Taewon nodded. "Yes, I can hack most systems. I worked in counterintelligence before my capture. I can get into their network if we reach a terminal." "Perfect," Jisoo said. "We need to get to the command center. I want to steal their battle plans and send them to Earth Command." They took the guard's key card and weapon. The Taurian gun was too big for Jisoo to use easily, so Taewon carried it. "What other training do you have?" Taewon asked as they moved toward the next section. 5 years in Earth's Special Forces," Jisoo said. "I specialized in infiltration, hand-to-hand combat, and survival. I can kill a man 20 different ways with just my hands." Taewon looked impressed. "And the Taurians thought you were just a weak woman." "That's what makes humans different," Jisoo said. "Taurians value only physical strength. They never bothered to learn about human combat techniques. They don't understand that skill can beat strength." They reached another door. Beyond it was the main hallway leading to the command center. 2 more guards stood there. "We can't take them head-on," Taewon whispered. "They'll sound the alarm." Jisoo looked around and saw a control panel on the wall. "What does that control?" Taewon studied it. "Looks like the lighting system." "Can you hack it? Create a distraction." Taewon smiled. "Give me 1 minute." He opened the panel and worked on the wires inside. Jisoo kept watch, listening for any sounds of approaching guards. "Got it," Taewon said finally. "When I press this, all lights in the main hallway will shut off for 30 seconds before emergency power kicks in." Jisoo nodded. "When the lights go out, I'll take the guard on the left. You take the right." "Ready when you are," Taewon said, his finger hovering over the switch. Jisoo took a deep breath. Now. The lights went out. Complete darkness filled the hallway. The guards shouted in surprise. Jisoo moved through the darkness like a ghost. She could hear the Torian breathing, sense his confusion. Her training had taught her to fight blind. She struck first at his kneecap, then his stomach. As he doubled over, she hit the pressure point on his neck. The guard collapsed without making another sound. When the emergency lights came on, both guards were down. Tai-1 looked at Jisoo with new respect. "I've never seen fighting like that," he said. "That's why we'll win," Jisoo replied. "The Torians think they know what humans can do. They have no idea." They dragged the guards out of sight and continued toward the command center. 3 more guards remained between them and their goal. Jisoo checked her watch. 2 hours until the next cell check. Time was running out. "Ready for the next part?" she asked. Tai-1 nodded, determination in his eyes. "Let's show them what humans can really do." Jisoo and Tai-1 crouched behind a stack of supply crates. Ahead of them was the hallway leading to the command center. 3 Torian guards stood in their way. "The ceremony will end soon," Jisoo whispered. "We need to move fast." Tai-1 pointed to a small vent above them. "That might lead to the control room. It's too small for a Torian, but you could fit." Jisoo nodded. "Help me up." Tai-1 made a step with his hands and boosted Jisoo toward the vent. She pulled off the cover quietly and slipped inside. The metal tunnel was narrow, but just big enough for her to crawl through. "I'll create a distraction," Tai-1 whispered. "Give me 3 minutes." Jisoo moved through the vent carefully. She could see down into different rooms through small grates. Most were empty because of the ceremony. After 20 meters of crawling, she found the command center. Looking down through the vent, she saw 4 Torians. They were monitoring screens and talking. None of them looked up at the ceiling where she watched. A loud alarm suddenly blared from another part of the base. The Torians in the command center jumped up. 2 of the Torians grabbed weapons and ran out, leaving only 2 behind. Tai-1's distraction was working perfectly. Jisoo waited until the door closed, then kicked out the vent cover and dropped into the room. The 2 Torians turned in shock. Jisoo moved faster than they could follow. She slid under a table, came up on the other side, and struck the first Torian in the back of his knee. As he fell, she jumped and hit the pressure point under his jaw. He collapsed unconscious. The second Torian was already swinging a massive fist at her. Jisoo ducked under it and used his momentum to throw him over her shoulder. He crashed into a wall of screens. Before he could get up, she struck 3 quick blows to points on his chest. The Torian gasped and fell back, unable to move. Jisoo ran to the door and opened it. Tai-1 was there, holding the Torian gun and looking worried. 2 guards down in the hallway, he said, but more will come soon. They locked the command center door and went to the main computer. Tai-1's fingers flew over the keyboard. While Tai-1 worked on the computer, Jisoo checked the unconscious Torians and tied them up with power cables. Then she looked at the security screens showing different parts of the base. "The ceremony is ending," she warned. "We have maybe 10 minutes before they discover the missing guards." "Almost in," Tai-1 said. "Yes, I have access to their battle plans." The screens filled with Torian military data. Maps, fleet positions, attack schedules, everything. "This is better than we hoped," Jisoo said. "Can you send it to Earth Command?" Tai-1 nodded. "Their communication system is connected to the main network. I can bounce a signal through 3 relay stations. It will be hard to trace." He worked quickly, copying the data and preparing to send it. Jisoo watched the security screens. On one, she saw Commander Krell leaving the ceremony hall with several officers. "Hurry," she said. "Krell is coming this way." "Sending now," Tai-1 said. "This will take 2 minutes to complete." Jisoo went to the weapon locker and broke it open. Inside were several Torian guns and some shock grenades. She took 2 grenades and gave one to Tai-1. "Once the data is sent, we need to get to the landing bay," she said. "We can steal a small ship." A loud bang hit the door. Someone was trying to get in. Security breach in command center. A voice shouted outside. Jisoo took position beside the door, shock grenade ready. Keep working. I'll handle them. The door burst open. 3 Torian guards rushed in, weapons ready. Jisoo threw the shock grenade. A flash of blue light filled the room. The guards fell, temporarily paralyzed by the electric pulse. More shouting came from the hallway. Jisoo grabbed a Torian gun and fired at the ceiling. Metal and wires fell, blocking the doorway. Done. Taiwan shouted. Data sent to Earth Command. Jisoo smiled. Now for part 2. We need to destroy this base. Taiwan looked surprised. That wasn't in the plan. New plan, Jisoo said. I saw their reactor controls on the security screen. If we overload it, the whole base will go up. That will stop their attack on Proxima 3. More Torians were trying to clear the blocked doorway. Time was running out. Can you set the reactor to overload from here? Jisoo asked. Taiwan turned back to the computer. Yes, but we'll only have 15 minutes to escape. As Taiwan worked, Jisoo saw Commander Krell on a security screen. He was shouting orders, his face filled with rage. He knew now what a mistake he had made by underestimating his human prisoners. Ready? Jisoo asked. Together, they prepared for the final part of their escape. The Torians who had laughed at Jisoo would not be laughing much longer. Warning lights flashed throughout the base. A computer voice spoke in the Torian language, counting down. Reactor overload in 15 minutes, Taiwan translated. Time to run. Jisoo grabbed extra weapons from the command center. We need to get to Landing Bay 3. It's closest. They left through a side door just as more Torian guards broke through the main entrance. The hallway ahead was empty. Everyone was rushing to the command center or the reactor room. This way, Jisoo said, leading Taiwan down a service corridor she had memorized from the security screens. They ran as fast as they could. Jisoo's leg hurt again, but she ignored the pain. Behind them, alarms blared louder. The base was in chaos. 12 minutes left, Taiwan said, checking his stolen datapad. They reached a junction where 2 hallways met. Suddenly, 5 Torian soldiers appeared ahead of them. The leader was Commander Krell. There they are, Krell shouted. Kill them. Jisoo pushed Taiwan into a side room and followed him in. Plasma shots hit the wall where they had been standing. We need another way to the landing bay, Jisoo said. Taiwan looked around the room. It was a communications center with several terminals. His eyes lit up. I have a better idea, he said. Help me barricade the door. They pushed heavy equipment against the door while Torian soldiers pounded on it from outside. Taiwan ran to the main terminal and began typing. What are you doing? Jisoo asked, watching the door shake under heavy blows. This is their main broadcast center, Taiwan explained. It's connected to every communications device in the sector. We can send more than just the battle plans. Jisoo understood. We can warn all human colonies about the attack. Better, Taiwan said. We can send everything we've learned about Torian weaknesses, their pressure points, their blind spots, the flaws in their ships, everything. The door began to crack. The Torians would break through soon. How long will it take? Jisoo asked. 3 minutes to set up, 2 minutes to transmit, Taiwan said. But someone needs to hold that door. Jisoo nodded. I'll buy you the time. Just make it count. She took position behind an overturned table. Torian gun ready. The door burst open, and Commander Krell pushed through with his soldiers. Kill the male, Krell ordered. I want the female alive. Jisoo fired her weapon. Blue plasma bolts hit the first 2 Torians. They fell back, wounded but not dead. The Torian armor was strong. Their neck joints. She called to Taiwan. Aim for the gap in the armor at the neck. Taiwan grabbed a second gun and fired while still working on the terminal with his other hand. His shot hit a Taurian at the neck joint. The soldier dropped instantly. More Taurians pushed into the room. Jisoo threw her last shock grenade. It gave them a few seconds of breathing room. Almost ready, Taiwan said. Transmission set to broadcast to all frequencies. Krell fired his massive gun. The table protecting Jisoo exploded into pieces. She rolled away, firing back. Her shot grazed Krell's arm. He roared in pain and anger. "You will die slowly for this, human female," he shouted. Jisoo saw her opening. She rushed forward, ducking under Krell's swing. She struck his knee with all her strength, then his lower left arm at the pressure point. As he stumbled, she jumped and hit the soft spot under his jaw. Krell staggered but didn't fall. He was stronger than the other Taurians. "You cannot defeat me," he growled, grabbing for her with his upper arms. Jisoo twisted away and kicked his injured knee again. This time he fell to one knee. She struck again and again at his pressure points. "This is for laughing at me," she said, hitting him hard in the throat. "This is for my dead team." Another strike to his chest. "And this is for underestimating humans." A final blow to his head. Krell collapsed unconscious. The other Taurians hesitated, shocked to see their commander defeated by a small human female. "Transmitting now," Taiwan shouted, sending to all human colonies and outposts. On the main screen, they could see the data flying out to every corner of the sector. Battle plans, weaknesses, tactics, everything the Taurians had tried to keep secret. 5 minutes until reactor overload, Taiwan warned. "We need to go now." Jisoo picked up Krell's weapon. It was huge but powerful. "There's a maintenance shaft behind that panel. It leads directly to the landing bay." They forced open the panel and climbed into the shaft. Behind them, more Taurian soldiers poured into the communications room, but it was too late. The transmission was complete. "Every human in the sector will know how to fight them now," Taiwan said as they crawled through the narrow space. "You've changed everything, Jisoo." Jisoo kept moving forward. "We're not safe yet, and I still have one more thing to do before we leave." 3 months later, Admiral Suho Lee stood before the United Earth Council in the Great Hall on Earth. Behind him, a large screen showed maps of the galaxy. Red dots marked Taurian bases. Many had X marks through them. Thanks to the information provided by Lieutenant Jisoo Kim and Captain Taiwan Park, we have won 6 major battles against the Taurian forces, Admiral Lee said. The Taurians have lost 30% of their fleet. The council members nodded with approval. One woman raised her hand. "And what of the attack on Proxima 3 colony?" "Never happened," Admiral Lee said with a smile. "The destruction of the Taurian base on Nexus 7 stopped their attack force before it could launch." On the front row of seats sat Jisoo and Taiwan in fresh, decorated uniforms. Jisoo's leg had healed completely. She sat tall and proud as the Admiral continued speaking. "The Taurian High Command has sent a message," Admiral Lee said. "They want peace talks. For the first time in 10 years of war, they are willing to negotiate." Cheers filled the hall. Jisoo and Taiwan looked at each other and smiled. Their mission had changed the course of the war. Admiral Lee raised his hand for quiet. "But before we discuss peace, we have heroes to honor." He turned to Jisoo and Taiwan. "Please join me." They walked up to stand beside the Admiral. From the side door, a group of aliens entered the hall. They were Taurians, but these wore formal robes instead of armor. The lead Taurian was smaller than the others, with marking on his face that showed high rank. "Ambassador Dur of the Taurian Empire has asked to be present for this ceremony," Admiral Lee explained. The Taurian ambassador looked at Jisoo with his 4 eyes. There was no mockery in his gaze now, only respect. "Lieutenant Jisoo Kim," Admiral Lee said formally, "your courage, skill, and intelligence saved countless human lives. You showed the Taurians that the strength of humans cannot be measured by size or gender." He placed a golden star medal around her neck. I am proud to present you with the Star of Terra, our highest honor." The hall erupted in applause. Jisoo stood straight, her eyes bright with pride. "Captain Taiwan Park," Admiral Lee continued, "your technical skills and bravery were essential to the mission's success. You also received the Star of Terra." After Taiwan received his medal, Ambassador Dur stepped forward. His voice was deep, but he spoke carefully in human language. "The Taurian Empire has learned a costly lesson," he said. "We believed that physical strength was the only strength that mattered. We were wrong." He bowed his head to Jisoo. "Lieutenant Kim, you have taught us respect. One small human female defeated our best commander and changed the war. This will be remembered in Taurian history forever." Jisoo nodded to the ambassador. "All humans are strong in different ways. Remember that during the peace talks." Ambassador Dur touched his chest in a Taurian gesture of respect. "We will not forget again." After the ceremony, Jisoo and Taiwan stood by a window overlooking Earth City. The sun was setting, turning the sky beautiful colors. "What will you do now?" Taiwan asked. Jisoo looked at the stars appearing in the evening sky. "I will train others, share what I know about fighting larger opponents." "Will you teach Taurians too?" Taiwan asked with surprise. Jisoo smiled. "If they ask nicely. True peace means sharing knowledge, not keeping secrets." A young female cadet approached them, looking nervous. "Lieutenant Kim, I'm sorry to bother you, but you're my hero. Would you teach me someday?" Jisoo looked at the young woman. She was small, like Jisoo, but her eyes were bright with determination. "Lesson 1, Jisoo said, "never let anyone tell you what you cannot do because of your size or gender." The cadet stood straighter. "Yes, Lieutenant." As the cadet walked away, Taiwan laughed softly. "You've become a legend, you know. The woman who brought the Taurians to their knees." Jisoo shook her head. "I just did what any good soldier would do. I used their prejudice against them." In the distance, ships were taking off from the spaceport. Among them was a Taurian vessel heading home with the ambassador. "Do you think they've really changed?" Taiwan asked. Jisoo watched the ship until it was just a light among the stars. They'd started to. "And that's enough for now." She touched the Star of Terra around her neck. It wasn't just a medal for her. It was a symbol of what humans could accomplish when others underestimated them. The Taurians had laughed at a wounded woman soldier. They weren't laughing anymore. The end.